Hello everybody. The genetic disorder that I chose to do research over was Tay Sachs disease. What is Tay Sachs disease? Well, Tay Sachs disease is a fatal genetic disorder occurring mainly in children that results in progressive destruction of the nervous system. Tay Sachs is caused by the absence of a vital enzyme called hexa. What causes Tay Sachs disease? Well, it's mutations in the hexa gene. Well, what is the hexa gene? The hexa gene provides instructions for making part of an enzyme called beta-hexa, which plays a critical role in the brain and spinal cord. This enzyme is also located in lysosomes, where when inside the lysosome, the beta-hexa helps break down a fatty substance called GM2 ganglioside. Mutations in the hexa gene disrupt the activity of beta-hexa, which prevents the enzyme from breaking down GM2 ganglioside. The buildup of GM2 ganglioside causes progressive damage and leads to the destruction of neurons in the brain and spinal cord, which causes the signs and symptoms seen in Tay Sachs disease. The hexa gene is located along the long Q arm of chromosome 15 at position 24. How is Tay Sachs disease inherited? Well, it's inherited. It's a genetic disorder that is passed from parents to their children. It occurs when a child inherits the gene from both parents. It's autosomal recessive manner. It carries an autosomal recessive disease. Typically do not have any signs or symptoms. Essentially, they're unaffected. When two carriers of autosomal recessive disease have children, each child has a 1 in 4 chance to have the disease, 1 in 2 chance to be an uninfected carrier like each parent, and a 1 in 4 chance to be uninfected and not a carrier. Here's some characteristics that comes along with obtaining Tay Sachs disease. So one that is diagnosed with, essentially born with Tay Sachs disease, is loss of motor skills such as turning over, crawling, and sitting up. The basic stuff that an infant should be able to do, they are unable to. Exaggerated reactions when the baby hears loud noises, so they're very sensitive to noise. Seizures, vision and hearing loss, eventually they'll go blind and deaf. Cherry red spots in the eyes. Muscle weakness and movement problems. Characteristics of one who is diagnosed with Tay Sachs disease later on in life, or also known as late onset Tay Sachs disease, can have certain characteristics such as muscle weakness, loss of muscle coordination, speech problems, and possibly obtain mental illness. And here's a little history and physical findings behind Tay Sachs disease. Well, Warren Tay and Bernard Sachs were two physicians that described the disease's progression and provided differential diagnosis criteria to distinguish it from other neurological disorders with similar symptoms. Essentially, they were the founders of the disease. Both Tay and Sachs reported their first cases among Ashkenazi Jewish families. Tay reported his observations in 1881, which were published in the Britain Ophthalmological Society article. And then by 1884, he had already seen 3 cases in one single family. Some years later, around 1990, Bernard Sachs, an American neurologist, reported similar findings as Tay. And here's just some more of the history continued. In 1969, Shintaro Akara and John S. O'Brien showed that Tay Sachs disease was caused by an enzyme defect. And then during the early 1970s, researchers developed protocols for newborn testing, carrier screening, and prenatal diagnosis. So by the 1970s, they were able to determine whether or not an infant had Tay Sachs disease or was possibly even a carrier of Tay Sachs disease, essentially if they had a trace of it. And here's a little background and the path of psychology there's a figure down there. And the hydrolysis of GM2 ganglioslide requires 3 proteins. 2 of them are subunits of hexa, and the third is a small glycolipid transport protein. Deficiency in any of these proteins leads to ganglioside storage. Tay Sachs disease occurs because a mutation inherited from both parents deactivates or inhibits this process. Most Tay Sachs mutations probably do not directly affect protein functional elements. Instead, they cause incorrect folding or disable intercellular transport. And here's the natural history behind Tay Sachs. Ashkenazi Jews, Cajuns, and French Canadians are all where they find traces of the disease. For Ashkenazi Jews, the mutation which causes Tay Sachs disease is most popular in this Jewish population. As for Cajuns, the same mutation found among the Jews occurs in Cajun populations of southern Louisiana. Researchers have traced the ancestry of carriers from Louisiana from a family who lived in France in the 18th century. And then for the French Canadians, 2 mutations unrelated to the Jews or Cajun mutation are absent in France but common among French Canadian communities living in southern eastern Quebec and Acadians from the province of New Brunswick. So the big question, is Tay Sachs disease curable? Essentially, no, nor is there treatment for it. And so, since there's no treatment, there's nothing to possibly slow the progression of the disease down. It's just a matter of time before it starts breaking down your body. Although people have received supportive care to ease the symptoms and extend life by reducing the chance of contracting infections. And then, as for the inheritance risk of Tay Sachs disease, if both parents are carriers, a 25% chance that children will get the disease. About 16 cases of Tay Sachs is diagnosed in the United States a year. For people not from backgrounds, around 1 in 300 people carry the gene, and then 1 in every 27 Jews in the United States is a carrier of Tay Sachs disease. And here's my where I got my information from. And then here's a little YouTube link about a news story about a little boy named Nathan. And he was diagnosed with Tay Sachs. So if you want to kind of see what it looks like in a human, you can click this link and watch the short video. Thank you.